Hello, dear friends who are there at Kardec Radio, the radio, and also our Facebook page, Kardec Radio, Facebook Live. We're here with you today to get to know more information about reincarnation. Why we reincarnate? What is the importance of reincarnation? Why do we experience XYZ events in this life? We really need to work upon this to get to know more about ourselves and succeed in an incarnation, right? In the book by Amália Domingos Soler, titled 15 Past Lives, this is a translation by Luis Rui Rivas, and you can buy the Portuguese if you read Portuguese. In Spanish, the book is Hechos que Prueban. Hechos que Prueban is the book, and you can have an opportunity to read about it, okay? In English, it's coming about as we speak. Today, we're gonna talk about case 3. Some people have been asking, why is it so important for us to know about cases of reincarnation? Because you and I are under the law of reincarnation. Reincarnation, when Kardec asked the illuminated spirits publishing the Spirit's book, why do we need to reincarnate? We need to reincarnate to evolve, to learn new skills. We also need to redress previous choices that were considered mistakes and avoid repeating you. Avoid repeating you. Exactly. Right? We need to avoid repeating the same old mistake. True. And we need also to fulfill God's will. When we incarnate, we're fulfilling our role in creation. Yes, you are a co-creator. Tell yourself, I am a co-creator. Whenever somebody asks and doubts your potential, or even if you doubt your potential, it's your opportunity to say to yourself, I am a co-creator. Everybody is. Let us co-create to the best of our ability, shall we? We are here on this third case about a baby that was born without arms, without legs. These cases are never easy. It's funny because some people may ask, what about cases of easy, happy ending? My friends, on the earth, we don't have happy ending stories yet. No, we don't. Why? Because, as Leon Denis says in the book, After Death, pain is law on the earth. In a planet that evil still dominates, good is yet to prevail. Suffering still takes place in majority of our lives, if not in everybody's lives. Even in the life of the Christ, the martyrdom was truly present. Why will we not be present in our lives, right? So we need to meditate about this and expect relief. Expect changing perspectives. Our perspective may change everything. And our suffering may disappear, depending on what we're defining as suffering. What is suffering for you? Can we change it? Yes, we can. Right? So we're going to discuss this and much more, and I hope Carrie and Mark are listening to us. They are double checking the system here. And for a glimpse here, I also had some issues with seeing the names of everybody who is on Facebook Live, and forgive me because I cannot see everybody. I can only see some names this far, and forgive me if I am not mentioning you. It's just because in both systems that I have at hand, I can see a few. Hello, Erica and Danny. How are you? Hello, beautiful Leia Severo. Thank you for being with us and being part of Kardec Radio's team too. Patrícia and Tiago, how are you? And Raquel, beautiful mom. Fourth child, huh? God bless you, my friend. What a mission. Karina, beautiful Karina. How are you? Rudy, here and ready. Me too. Sunshine. How are you, Sunshine? Beautiful, beautiful works that you're also doing. You know, this group at 11 p.m. is becoming so productive. And you know, who would ever expect that what is happening would be happening, and much more. We just say thank you, thank you, thank you, good spirits. Thank you, God. Thank you, Mark Zuckerberg and team, for providing the tool of Facebook Live, right? And allowing us to be here. Hello, Ceisa. Beautiful Ceisa. Beautiful. Aline, how are you? You're excited about the lesson today. Me too. Thank you for being here with us. Roberto Lopes. How are you, Roberto? Friends, in the first day, we were studying. One of the cases was about the little blind girl, right? And then the second day, about a man who became mentally ill, and we've got to know a previous lives' mistakes. Today, beyond the story, it's about the law of reincarnation. The law of action and reaction. It's almost like ping pong. You know, throw the ball, comes back to you like boomerang. Yes, that's the law of life. We cannot escape. If at each and every action, feeling, thought, word, we were thinking, or we would be thinking, how about the reaction to this action? How about next life, my next life? What's gonna happen to me if I keep doing this? I'm gonna receive exactly what I am giving. I will be receiving exactly what I am giving. Is that correct? Yes. That's a law, and I'm working on the radio system here right now. But that's the law of life. So we need to think. How often do you think about this? If I keep doing this, if I keep saying this, if I keep having this attitude, I'll be sowing and then reaping tomorrow. You know, like Jesus, everybody thought about Jesus as, oh my God, he must be somebody who would be like Hollywoodian, like mesmerizing. And then when people came to him, they observed that he was mesmerizing, but quiet. He didn't want to mesmerize anybody. He just wanted to love. We need to have eyes to see and ears to hear. Many things that are good in this life we miss because of our own projections. So we need to know where we are. In this therapeutic conversation today, we are going to be recapping here a case of a baby who was born without arms and legs. And why? Right, Angelita? Right, Adilson? Thank you for being with us, friends. Now, think about this. Think about what we are about to study together. Amália Domingo Soler in this chapter says, she begins the chapter by saying that the Roman Catholic, they, in one of their prayers titled Hail Holy Queen, they talk about the valley of suffering on the earth. And you know, I was researching on this, and the prayer goes pretty much like this. Hail Holy Queen, Mother of Mercy, our life, our sweetness, and our hope. To you we cry, poor banished children of Eve. To you we send up our sighs, mourning and weeping in this valley of tears. So, Amália Domingo Soler brings this chapter quoting a verse from this very prayer, the Catholic prayer, the Hail Holy Queen. And she says that the world is a valley of tears. It is. And she says nobody can claim on the earth that they are totally happy. Happiness on the earth seems to be so fleeting. When you thought you grasped it, it disappeared. Why? Thanks to Spiritism, we have no illusion any longer. Do you expect to be truly happy on the earth? Think about this question. Do you expect to be happy on the earth? Because if you do, you'll be disappointed. It's not possible. Thank you, Karen Mark, for helping us double check the system. But it's not possible. Are you sad? No, don't be sad. These are not bad news. These are just grounding news. You can be content. You can be as happy, said the illuminated spirits in the Spirits book. We can be as happy as earth allows us. But we are aiming at immortal happiness. What is immortal happiness, my friends? Can we meditate on this? What is immortal happiness? Clear conscience? Yes. Goodness, kindness, loving attitude, compassionate attitude, right? That is our goal, the immortal happiness. Right, Bianca, beautiful Bianca, our future nurse. You're right, on the earth we cannot be happy, but as happy as it gets. Exactly. We can be happy here now being together, which is really a luxury, because there are people around the world who don't have such resources. There are people around the world who are in refugee camps or who are suffering all sorts of cruelty. We pray for them. And we hope they receive the loving vibrations that unite us all at this very moment. I really hope this happens, don't you? Right, Aline Almeida, happiness is not of this world. But we need to be joyful, because the message of the good news comes to sing the song of hope, to sing the song of joy, right? Yes, it is true. So Amália Domingo Soler says, even the wealthiest, they go through incurable diseases. She even mentions the millionaires in the United States. And she was writing this way back when the United States wasn't what it is nowadays. It was becoming. And she says, if some are strong and robust, they lack the indispensable resources to sustain their vital forces. And they observe their strength decrease from their full youth, like a light that is being turned off little by little. Yes. Happiness, she says, is a cloud of smoke that at the least blow of the wind of life, it vanishes to the first rays of light. And in the midst of so much pain, there are different degrees of pain. That's a sure thing, different degrees. Some are bearable, others are unbearable, right? Now I'm going to stop for a minute and ask ourselves. It's a therapeutic conversation. Friends, let us meditate. Am I being a burden in somebody else's life? You know, sometimes if somebody needs a pen and I have a pen, I'm sitting next to them and I don't give them my pen, I become a burden in their lives. Because they see the pen, they need the pen. To fulfill their duties, you could share, but you don't. You become a burden. And then we go home praying that our lives are easier. Oh God, please help me. And God is telling you every day, share. Share. Can you share? And then your life is going to be better. But we don't. We think we want more and more and more. And that's why Andre Lewis, in a message that we studied yesterday at the Spiritist Society of Virginia, 10 Commandments of Self-Improvement, he begins by saying, decrease your wants and increase your concessions. If we want to be better, we need to give more and demand less. We need to give more and demand less. Right, Rita Di Cássia, welcome, welcome. How are you? And Ivone Medeiros, how are you, Ivone? Welcome to Kardec Radio here on Facebook Live. You're very welcome to join us. So, Amália Domingo Soler says that in a few days, as she was talking to a friend of hers told her, a while ago, I was in a certain location, and I met a family that I will never forget. This is a friend of Amália Domingo Soler. As we said in the United States Spiritist Symposium, through Spiritism we make so many friends. And Jesus advised us, you know, we should make friends. Let's make friends and increase our concessions, right? Right. Deb Oliveira, how are you? So she says, you know, I met a family I'll never forget. They were a beautiful couple, very young, amicable, and very sympathetic. Their faces radiated, were glowing in joy. They loved one another in such a beautiful way, such a beautiful way. They united themselves for love and only for love. He was a very modest worker, and she was a humble seamstress. And they looked at one another and loved one another at once. They got married, and they always thought about the coming of their first child. And they contemplated, she, the mom, the future mom, contemplated the picture of baby Jesus and she asked God for a son that would be as beautiful, as handsome as that angelical figure. A year later, the couple felt this need to reproduce, to make a baby. That's what they say here. And they bought the whole thing. They put together the baby's room, everything they needed to make sure that when the baby came up, they would be ready. Finally, the most expected day for the couple came up. The woman named Oria felt, the contractions of labor, and she gave birth to her baby. She wanted to see the baby immediately. Let's not forget, they don't know the sex of the baby at that time because, they didn't have the scans that we have nowadays, ultrasound, etc. So they didn't know. Imagine the expectation. If it's great nowadays, imagine at that time. The husband and everybody around. Remember, they're giving birth at home. That's how it used to be at the time. Now picture the scene. They are all around the bed, and she gave birth to the child. She wants to see the baby, but the husband and the people around were sad and silent. It seemed that they couldn't listen to what she was requesting. They were talking to one another, whispering on each other's ears. And then Oria screamed, alarmed that she was. She said, "Aren't you listening to me? I want to hug my son. Where is my child? Is my child dead by any chance?" "No." "But," said the husband. "But what? What happened?" she asked. "It's the child. It doesn't have arms. It doesn't have legs." And Oria replied, "Who cares? It's gonna be closer to me and longer in my arms." She embraced her son with great anxiety. The baby was truly handsome, white as snow. The eyes were blue and the hair was blonde and abundant, and the great big eyes were very expressive. When I met the baby must have been 8 or 10 months and was really, really a beautiful baby. The mother was crazy for him, and the father as well. But when the wife was not close, the husband whispered to Amália Domingo Soler friend, "I've wanted so much a son, and one came through, but without arms and legs. God is not just. My son, if he were in a rich home, he would have received and be receiving all the care that he needs, but I am so poor." And Amália Domingo Soler friend says, "Believe me, that little boy is still in my memories. What should have happened to him? What has happened to him in a previous life?" Pause. This is the immediate report of the life. Now, what happened on the behind the scenes in a previous life? Before we go there, breathe in and out. Hello, Gustavo. Hello, Joyce. And let us ask one question for us, therapeutically speaking. Are we just like this father who thinks God's not just when life does not present itself perfectly as we idealize? How many of us are prisoners, true prisoners of our expectations that are not met? And I know people who go through their whole lives in true sadness because life frustrated their dreams, their ideals. Friends, when we open the Gospel According to Spiritism by Allan Kardec, we read the chapter 3 about the planets and the conditions of the planets. On planet Earth, we already have a revelation. We shall not expect. We shall not expect perfection. It doesn't exist yet. We shall not teach our children to expect it. If we want to succeed in educating our children, we must love them, but teach them from the get-go that life is about self-control. Life is not about getting everything that you want. Strive to get what you want, but remember, if you get frustrated, it's not the end of the world, because that's our world. The world is like this on the earth. We are expected to experiment frustrations, to learn to be patient, to learn to revisit what we want. Many of our wants, our expected needs and wishes are not valid for our progress. Can you name one thing that you really want that you think does not belong to the earth? I can name one for you. True fraternity. It's a goal, but not yet to be met on the earth. If I expect true fraternity, I'll be frustrated every day, anywhere and everywhere, because that's not the goal. You know, when you watch the movie or the story Cinderella, it's beautiful to see Cinderella, her mother teaching her, be courageous and kind. But the bottom line is that majority of people are just like the stepmother, Lady Tremaine, and the stepsisters. They do anything and everything to get what they need. Courage and kindness are not in their to-do list. Fraternity is far from their best dreams. And this is still majority of people on the earth. We have more Lady Tremaines on the earth than of the mother of Cinderella. Unfortunately, majority of the moms on the earth are educating their children like Lady Tremaine. Think of materialistic goals. And very few mothers, very few parents are educating their children like the parents of Cinderella. And I'm just quoting Cinderella just because it's a universal reference for all of us, right? But it's something for us to think about. Hello, Edinalda. How are you? Where are you, Edinalda? Would you like to share with us where you're connecting us from? We would love to know. Thank you. Now, Amália Domingo Soler, when she received the account of this family and the baby, she was also impressed. She also thought day and night about that little boy. And she thought about how he would grow up without arms and legs. She thought about the behind the scenes. Why? So she actually asked the good spirits about it. She did. Can we ask the good spirits about it? Why not? Well, ask. We can ask. If they're gonna answer, it's another question. But it's valid to ask. Some people are afraid of asking the spirits for answers. And why should we be afraid if our question is based on true study and not curiosity? Thank you, Ginalda. You're from South Florida. Welcome, welcome. So, the spirits answered Amalia Domingo Soler. They answered to her question. And they begin by saying the following. You know the fruit by the tree, like Jesus said. For each and every human being, as you see, will go through privations from birth. And you can deduct why they went through it. Very likely because they abused certain things in previous lives. If they don't have legs, it's a sign that in the past, the legs were used to do all possible damage. Maybe this was a spy that ran after unhappy people to accuse them of crimes that they didn't commit. Think about this. Then, false declarations that they used and created victims. And we're talking about the era of fake news, right? Fake news that exist everywhere. Slander, people slandering others, and we feel so sorry for them because they really don't know what they are doing. Not only in the politics, it happens in families, it happens in circles of friendship, it happens in church circles, in spiritist centers, in the spiritist movement. But as Jesus said, we need to have eyes to see and evaluate the tree by the fruits. Right? Eloise Bella from Vancouver, Washington. Really? Welcome. That's great. Jailton, how are you? So, and the Spirit says more, the Spirit guide of Amalia Domingo Soler. He said, maybe this baby used to run with his legs and push people from the abyss and kill them. Now reincarnating without them, the legs that once were used to push cruelty onto the victims. And if there are no arms, hands are so useful for the human species. So important to do delicate labors. Maybe the hands were used to sign sentences of death that took many innocent lives. Mamma mia. And we think we're doing things that are not going to be encountering its effect later. Law of cause and effect. Right, Jailton? Thank you for being here. Law of cause and effect. Let me pause for a second. It's a therapeutic conversation. Let us think about this. What are we doing today that can create issues for us in the next life? We need to change right now. Right now. We need to change it right now. Leon Denis, in the book After Death, he says, in a chapter titled The Perispirit, he says, arms, legs, thoughts and words, actions, and thoughts, they are stored in our perispirit. So what are we doing with the resources we can? Because everything is being archived. We can't escape. Even if people don't know what we're thinking, feeling, saying, or doing, we know. It's stored. And the inner judge is going to sentence us. God doesn't sentence us, but our conscience does. The harshest judge is inside of our head, inside of our own mental body. Law of action and reaction. Hello, Lisdelia, how are you? Abraço. You know, I learned a beautiful song in Virginia's school. It's about hugs. Abrázame 4 vezes mínimo. It's a Spanish song in her school. It's a bilingual school. Beautiful, beautiful. Abrázame 4 vezes mínimo. Right? Hugs are so important. We need to hug our family members much more and kiss them and say how much we love them, because we don't know tomorrow, my friends. People are suffering of depression, of anxiety, and many of our kids are suffering because we, the parents, don't hug them enough, don't reassure them enough, don't caress them enough. They become aggressive. They become really difficult. So, abraça-me 4 vezes mínimo. Right? Right. I know, Lisdelia, you have beautiful triplets, beautiful family. A big kiss also to you. So Sunshine is asking, does our perispirit stay with us even when we incarnate on other planets after we have graduated from Earth? That's a beautiful question. Thank you, Sunshine. In the Spirit's book and also in the Genesis, by Kardec, you're going to find the deeper answer to this. But overall, we, the spirit, we are enveloped by the perispirit, the spiritual body. And this spiritual body changes as we evolve. So if we're going to reincarnate in another planet different from the Earth, our perispirit changes. It's as if like the morphology, like the texture, it changes, the anatomy, it changes. Don't ask me more than that, because I know just that it changes. They haven't revealed like greater details than this. It changes. It can be either more ethereal, as Kardec said, or less ethereal, more material. Okay? But we still keep it. All that we have done is stored in our long-term memory archives. Billions of years since we were created. They are stored. Never lost. Right? So even when we go to other planets, the perispirit is there, and it evolves as we evolve. Okay? Yes, Gustavo, gracias a la vida que me ha dado tanto. Sí, right on. Marco Carvalho, very well said. I know Amália Domingo Soler is revealing to us much more. Listen to this, friends. The baby that was born without hands. Why without hands? Because probably, says the spirit, the guide of Amália Domingo Soler, maybe use the hands to torture people, making them confess crimes they never committed. Yes, and creating slanders that destroyed the tranquility of families. You can do so much with your hands. They can aid humanity to doing great or to annihilating what already exists. When one reincarnates or incarnates on the earth without hands, for sure, much damage has been done with those hands. There is no need, said the Spirit, to make particular the story of this or that being here. Because everyone who is born on the earth without a robust body that is well balanced are certainly people who are condemned to life in prison, and they come here to fulfill their temporary prison, the sentence for their crimes. There are no harsh judges, and there is always forgiveness. There's always forgiveness. This is very important for us. Forgiveness. There is no doubt the criminals of yesterday are today those who are crippled, blind, mute, who are mentally ill, have no legs, no hands, who go through hunger and thirst. They are the ones who are persecuted by justice as well. There is a popular saying that you cannot trust those who have crippled hands, and say the Spirit that the idea is badly expressed, but at the end, deep inside, it has some truth. And he says, for these prisoners, we need to have the greatest compassion and guide them to the greatest pathway, as you would do for your own children. They are the ones who need the most and are the most afflicted. In the midst of abundance, for them there is no water, there is no wheat, there are no fruits in the flowers, no heat in their homes, in their families. They are the ones who come back without a stone to be seated. It is so bad to be evil. And Amália Domingo Soler wraps up her own chapter by saying, it is right what the Spirit Guide says, that by the fruits of the tree you can recognize the person, because it is really bad to be evil. So friends, thank you Sunshine, Marisa, how are you? Miriam. So friends, let us meditate. Why are we reincarnated? To learn to do good. Reincarnation, the path of progress. Reincarnation, the opportunity. Reincarnation, the way to become good, to achieve true happiness. Because you're a child of God. Yes, and there is mercy from God. Don't be shocked by the revelations, because the spirits are just showing to us that God is just, and He's correcting us. When a child is born without arms and legs, God is helping them so they don't incur in the same mistake. Rihanna, beautiful Rihanna from South Africa, she's saying, My mom used to say, if you hit someone with your hands will fall off. I say too the same. I learned the same, Rihanna, believe it or not, from my grandmother. And I repeat that to Virginia. And you're right. So meditate today. What is the take-home message for us? What am I sowing today? What am I gonna reap tomorrow? What kind of garden are you going to harvest? In 10, 20, 100, 1,000 years, is it a garden of peace? Or is it a garden of hatred? Right, Celio? Meditate on this. And you know, in the highest tone, there's always the mercy of God, as our beautiful Rita Di Cassia is mentioning here. God is merciful, but let us boost our fraternity, friends. Let us boost our fraternity. And let us see the suffering of others as our own and jump to help them out. It's the power of true fraternity, of friendship. Shall we? Yes, it's good to have friends. Yes, it's good to make friends. But it's even better when we reach out to them and we make their lives easier. After all, you and I are children of God. Let us wrap up by doing a visualization today. Shall we? Short, 2 minutes. A visualization that will boost inside of us our true capacity to regain the new opportunity inside of us. Close your eyes if you want. I'll keep my eyes half open, half closed. Okay? Let us visualize breathing in and out the good. Visualize that from your hands, from your legs, from your heart, from your head, beautiful rays of light are connecting you to everybody in your life. And you observe that some rays of light are stronger than others. Others are almost fading off, fading away. Think of the light of love that comes from God and boost those connections from you to others that are in need of strengthening. It's the power of God's light of love, sending reconciliation, forgiveness. If they have committed a mistake about you, send your words, I forgive you. Smile to them. Visualize your connections being illuminated. Illuminated. No darkness, only light, connecting you and everyone in your network, in your connections, your relationships. Visualize forgiveness, love, kindness, brotherhood, compassion. And like two stars, you and them, a constellation is connected to you. Stars and everybody soon connected by the ties of affection. Breathe in and out and tell yourself, I am light, I am peace, I am joy of living. I am light, I am peace, I am joy of living. Rejoice. Breathe in and out and open your eyes, feeling the joy of building a new life for you in each and every visualization. Visualizing the good does much good. It's one of the ways we can change our lives, by visualizing the good that you want to see manifested in your life. Shall we, in the next 24 hours, practice this meditation, this visualization, and see your connections being illuminated by the light of love, reconciliation, and the feelings of brotherhood. Shall we, my friends? Now a big hug of gratitude, and in these blessed cases by Amália Domingo Soler, we feel blessed. And hopefully we'll be together in 24 hours with another case, 15 cases of past lives by Amália Domingo Soler. Thank you, friends.